Thank you very much, everyone. And I'm going to be talking about mostly what is my passion, which is data. So we're going to be diving into a lot of data about mobile advertising and how mobile advertising is doing in terms of performance, CTR, clicks, and all of that kind of performance data information. And maybe before we start, I'm going to divide this presentation into two parts. Basically, I'm going to talk about a lot of monetization. A lot of you are going to, at the end, resort to advertising in order to monetize your applications, in order to monetize your content. So I'm going to be talking a lot about how mobile advertising is performing and how it is performing as compared to PC advertising. And I'm going to be talking specifically about a research that we've done and going to be published in the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to give you a few insights out of that. But before we're going to get all of that, I'm going to introduce MediaMind, which is basically what we do and who we are. So MediaMind basically provide infrastructure and technology for advertisers, for online advertising. And we do that for PC advertising, for mobile advertising, for search, display. We connect all of these dots together. So if on one side we have advertisers that are represented and work together with media agencies, and on the other hand we have media suppliers and consumer, we stand in the middle and we help advertisers to manage their campaigns and get everything together, and that includes basically putting the banners online, serving them through the publishers, and I guess reaching the consumers, and the most interesting part, getting all of the feedback from the ads, or getting all of the data from the ads and analyzing it in a unified reporting. So that's why we get so much data and so much access. And typically, each one of our research, when we look at PC, we can analyze about 500 billion impressions that we have every year, and that's very representative of the online environment. So we work with about 9,000 advertisers, about nearly 4,000 agencies, and above 8,000 publishers. So there is a lot of we basically have ads almost everywhere, and we reach about 700 million consumers every year. So that's pretty big numbers. And what specifically I'm going to be talking about today is cross-channel campaigns and how we see the performance of these. So these are campaigns that, as you probably know, most of the online advertising is still being done on this cumbersome device over here, the PC, and only the minority is being done on still on mobile. So when an advertiser wants to run a campaign, when they want to have a campaign online, mostly they would think about it as a campaign running on a PC, and then it has a mobile extension. And they want to get everything unified, they want to get everything together, so they have basically one creative that is running, for example here, a homepage takeover that is running on a PC, and then they're going to have ads that are adjusted for each one of the devices that they're targeting. Now what I'm going to be showing you is data that we collected from all of our campaigns that were running both on PC and on mobile, and I'm going to talk about the sample size that we have pretty soon. But we collected all of the data, and basically we have matching metrics, which is CTR. We are collecting clicks from online and from mobile, and we compare both of these. And what is interesting about collecting data about mobile performance is that what we're going to be seeing is how mobile is actually performing when we compare the same thing but the same creative on PC and the same creative on mobile, how people are responding to both of that, to both of these channels, and how you can compare the two. Now we looked at data for this specific research of about 6 months and 200 million impressions that were running on all sorts of publishers, devices, applications, also online mobile browsers, publishers, operating systems. So we really had a pretty substantial sample over there of data in order to see how mobile advertising is doing. Now, diving straight into the insights, 6 facts about mobile advertising and how it's working and how it can be monetized through advertising. Now, the first thing that we saw when we looked at the data of all of our campaigns for mobile advertising is that mobile campaigns are most effective during the evening. And that's very, very different from what we're seeing on PC advertising. So if you think about when people are actually browsing PC content, and we can see that by the time that our impressions are being served. So PC content is mostly being consumed between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So that's when people are at the office. We do see that people have more time for browsing, and people watch significantly more ads when they are at the office. When we look at performance of online ads when people are at the office, and I don't know if you can see that because it's down there, it's pretty flat throughout the day. So we do say that there is sort of an uptake during the nighttime.
The people's car needs to be where the people are.
Okay, the video works. So we do say that there is an uptake in the evening, but in the late night. Sorry?
Was that an interstitial?
I don't know. So there is an uptake in the evening, but most for PCs, CTR is pretty flat throughout the day. Mobile is completely different. We do see that mobile advertising, people consume mobile advertising. They do most of their browsing during the evenings, not during the office, probably because it's not as convenient. The boss can see you. It's a very, very different environment. So the peak time for mobile browsing and for applications, basically the ads that are being consumed is in the evening. And that's very interesting because that's also the peak time for television. And what we know from other research that I've seen, and also from watching the behavior of people around me, is that mobile browsing is mostly being done while people are watching TV. So it's not an exclusive activity. People do that while they do other things. It's very, very different than PC browsing, for example. People are doing it in the evening, doing it while they're doing other things. And what we see is that because they're doing other things is that they allow for more serendipity. And specifically, when you look at CTR in the evening, we're seeing that 8 p.m. is sort of the most effective hours for online advertising. So if CTR is around 0.6% throughout the day, the average for the 24 hours, we see that at 8 p.m. it's about double that amount. So very, very effective during the evening. Now, one of the things that I've been hearing around MLOVE, and specifically when I went to one of the roundtables, is that Steve Jobs is the king of user experience. And we see that this is very much true when we look at the performance by operating system. So iPhones and Apple devices in general tend to have significantly higher click-through rate as compared to Android. And that's really a testament to the powerful user experience of iPhones. I think that you can definitely see that there is nearly double the click-through rate. It's very significant. So if you are building an application, if you're thinking about advertising on mobile, definitely think about the iPhone as sort of a very powerful experience, a very powerful platform for online advertising. On the other hand, when we look at the BlackBerry, we do see that it's a very, we know that advertisers like the BlackBerry because it's a very affluent audience. It's it's a lot of CEOs, a lot of managers, executives, and so on, very affluent people, very prized audience for advertisers. But when we look at response for BlackBerry, the number of clicks that are being done on BlackBerry ads, we see that that's very, very low, pretty similar to what we see on PC. So BlackBerry advertising is, it has relatively high reach when we look at the number of impressions, not as high as the iPhone, but relatively high reach. So people do view them, but they just don't click on them. So if you're doing any BlackBerry advertising, think about it as mostly a visible impression, not something that people are going necessarily to click on it. Make sure that you have all of the relevant information on the banner itself. Don't expect people to go to your mini mobile site in order to get more information.
For which countries is that?
This is global. Most of the data is US, but we have also data from Europe in there, so it's global campaigns. Okay, now when we compare a cross-channel campaign, which are campaigns that are being served both, as you've seen with H&M, campaign that are served, the same creative is served both on PC and on mobile, and we look at performance, we see that it's about, mobile performance is about 9 times the average of PC-based performance. And that, I think, is really huge, because for the same, basically, inventory, what you get is about, specifically if you use cost per click, for every $1 that you're making out of your PC content, you're going to make $9 on your mobile standard banners. So that's huge. It's about 9 times, very, very significant, very real money that can be made through online advertising. And I think that this is really a testament to how powerful mobile is. And
do you also have stats about sales acquisition costs?
Yes, we've looked at, we don't have a global benchmark for that, but we looked at one major advertiser for the cost per action, and we've seen that the ROI, the return on investment that they had, I can't tell you the details about the advertiser because we need to keep it confidential, but we have seen that the cost for acquisition on mobile was significantly lower for them. It was a very large campaign as compared to PC. So people are very responsive. It was a very large global financial services advertiser. So we are seeing that the cost per click and also the cost per acquisition is much
similar to the 9 number? Similar, or is it much lower than 9?
No, it wasn't the 9 times. It was a little bit lower, but it was, I think, around 5 times. So okay. 5 times lower, the cost per acquisition. So we are seeing very, very nice performance in terms of monetization. Now, breaking the data that you've seen in the last slide into the different verticals that we worked with on mobile, I think that it's very much apparent that it's like the pretty much early days of PC advertising, the level of click-through rate that you're seeing here, very, very high, definitely higher than the PC comparison for every one of the verticals that we looked at. And it's also, I think, a testament to how people are using mobile as compared to mobile browsing, as compared to PC browsing. Specifically, for example, about medical. Medical is a very personal thing, so PCs, people mostly browse, as I said, at the office. It's not a very personal experience. Mobile, much closer to your face, much closer to your eyes. And you can definitely see that people trust mobile when they go to WebMD, for example. They feel that they can trust it, that it's very personal, and they can click on medical ads, for example, ads for drug manufacturers. Entertainment, again, the second highest click-through rate among our verticals. That makes sense. Again, iPhone is also a music device. Makes sense that CTR on entertainment is going to be very, very high. But I guess that what I found very, very surprising is these 3 verticals: retail, financial, and travel, which are relatively strong as compared to PC. And that's, these verticals are, these advertisers, they focus specifically on direct response. So they want to have users download their apps, they're going to the mini site, buying something. So these are mostly advertisers that are focusing on actions rather than, you know, just branding or getting visibility from clients. And we are seeing that they are getting the response that they're paying for, which is pretty substantial. I guess that my hypothesis was that people would still be hesitant to do these kind of activities on mobile, specifically on a large scale when we're looking at global results of our benchmarks. Now, after considering the last 5 slides about the significantly higher performance of mobile advertising as compared to PC-based advertising, and also the high reach, the proliferation of smartphones, it's no surprise that the investment on online in mobile advertising is going to be increasing significantly in the next few years. So if on PC advertising we're talking about an increase of 10% in spending every year, here we're talking about doubling overall spending within the next 3 years, which is huge. This is US data, but when we look at similar global benchmarks from PwC, this is eMarketer. When we look at PwC and other research out there, we see very, very similar results. People are expecting, industry analysts are expecting that spending on mobile is going to be increasing very, very significantly. So, overall, even though mobile advertising, mobile banners are very, very tiny, and I guess that the initial sort of hypothesis or the thing that people are coming in with is that, it can't be effective. People can't click on it, it's fat fingers, all of these type of excuses. It's very, very effective, and we are seeing that today the stage of mobile is very similar to the early days of PC advertising. Huge opportunity, huge increase, huge opportunity for monetization, huge opportunity for advertisers to get response, to get notice, and these tiny ads can get very, very substantial results. Thank you very much, and feel free to download the research.